The secret to building an amazing company starts and ends right here. It's all about people. From the voice that answers the phone, the extended hand that greets a customer, from the presentation to customer service, the rise or fall of your business rides on the people you employ. And that's where your focus should be. Because depending on your industry, one great employee may bring you dozens or even hundreds of valuable new customers. One great employee may service those valuable new customers in such a way that they love your business, speak highly about you out in the community, and continue on as a repeat customer while referring you to others. People, your personnel is the priority. Now treat it that way. Here's how. You've got to know your pro. And when I say know your pro, I mean it in two ways. First, you should always know who the next great professional that you're going to be hiring on your team, you should always know who they are in advance at all times. And you do this by interviewing 52 weeks per year. The hunt for great people is no part-time job. If you're only posting jobs when you have a need, if you're only interviewing when you have an opening, I got to tell you, this is the problem that is keeping your company from being all that it can be. This is your problem. Don't get caught flat-footed. Don't get caught unprepared when an employee leaves your company. That can be devastating. But how about this? When you have an opportunity to expand, same thing. Don't get caught off guard. Always be ready. You always want to have a nice little database ready to go. The best candidates for your team. Let me be blunt on this. You cannot have an amazing company with even one mediocre employee. So, always be looking for the best and know who they are before you need them. That part's critical. Know who they are before you need them. And you cannot even begin to do that without addressing the second way in which I mean you must know your pro. Because what I mean there is that you must know your profile. You have to know exactly who you're looking for before even beginning to look for your next great employee. So again, when I say you must know your pro, I also mean that you must know your profile. Let me just say it like this. I'm consistently amazed by people who moan and groan about how good help is so hard to find, yet they have no idea what they're really looking for. Knowing the exact profile that is best for your company is actually quite easy, but it is critical, not only to your staffing success, but to the overall culture of your organization. You build the profile like this. Think about the very best employees in your current organization. Write those names down. Now think about the best employees you've ever hired, wherever it may have been, and write those names down. And now think about your competition, the best employees in your industry. Write those names down. You should have a pretty impressive list in front of you. The only way you don't is if you're brand new to the industry or maybe brand new to the marketplace. Maybe this is your first time hiring at all. You know, if you're in that position, let me just say, you're actually in a great spot. Probably where everybody wishes they would have started, because you have that chance now to pause. You have a chance, to look at it and say, let me imagine exactly what type of company it is that I want to have, what type of business culture that I want to have in place. And let me imagine exactly what type of person is the perfect fit for that culture, for that business that you're about to build. As for the rest of us, we have this all-star list of names in front of us. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to picture who those people were when they were hired. And now we're going to ask questions about them. Now the best questions will come from you, but here's a few just to get you started. How far into their professional life were they? What number of job was this? Was this their first professional job? Did they begin in some other industry and then you hired them in? Maybe they began in your industry somewhere else and proved their worth, but then you were there to bring them on board and take them to that next level. How old were they when hired? Look, this isn't the interview. I know you can't ask that. That's not what this is about. It's not about age discrimination. This is simply about identifying how old the best of the best were when they were originally hired. How much experience do they have in the industry? Sounds a lot like the first question, but actually it's not. Because if you think about it, you may have two people, both who are on their second professional job. But the first one was at their first place of employment for 10 years. The second was at their first place of employment for 7 months. See, they're both on their second job, but with very different levels of experience. What levels of education did they have? Master's degree? Were they fresh off the college campus with their bachelor's degree? Maybe they had some kind of specialized training, some kind of specialized certification. How about their home life? They married? Were they single? Kids? Again, there's no right or wrong answer. You're just identifying exactly what type of candidate has been right for you historically. Are they open and outgoing, or were they more cerebral and reserved? Now, when you think about that question, it probably begs the question, should we compartmentalize this? Should we look at it department by department? And, sure, makes sense, you can, but I really encourage you to keep the overall culture of your organization in mind when you do it. And, that will probably lead you to questions like this. Were they more about winning, or were they more about helping others? Here's why that's important, because, let's just say that, your company is built on the premise that, we are tenacious. We do whatever it takes to see things through and ultimately to a win. Sounds admirable enough, right? But I can tell you, if that's your thing, you better look for people who share that vision. And yet, another company may say, we want people who are all about helping others. Because here at this company, we believe if you genuinely want to help others, you will be sure to help our customers. And when you help them, they will win. And when they win, we win. See, there's no right or wrong answer. It's just what kind of company do you have, or what kind of company do you want to have? That's really the key. You need to ask these questions to identify the people who would be the very best fit. It's all about identifying the traits of the best, and the very best questions will do that, and those are going to come from you. And when you have clarity there, you will come up with the best questions to identify that profile of what makes a great hire for you. And this is that launching point into hiring people who fit your known profile. And once you have these names and you've asked these key questions about each of them, you simply have to look for the trends. And trust me, they will be there. In fact, they'll be crystal clear. And then, at that point, you will know, beyond the shadow of a doubt, the profile of your best hire. Now, just go hire people just like that.